In August of 1977, a 19-year-old college student was forced to undergo a saline abortion. Against her wishes, a poisonous solution was injected into her uterus to burn the baby's lungs and stop its heart. She was supposed to deliver a dead baby, but she did not. Instead, a baby girl was born alive. I'm Bonnie Finnerty, Education Director at the Pennsylvania Pro-Life Federation, here to talk about our summer Lit for Life book recommendation, You Carried Me, A Daughter's Memoir by Melissa Ohden. The author was that baby that survived the abortion, and today she's an outspoken advocate for life, an inspirational voice for those that the world does not want to acknowledge, abortion survivors. Once you start this book, it's almost impossible to put it down. Melissa Ohden is a gifted writer who unfolds her incredible story with honesty and sincerity. She was just 14 when she learned she was an abortion survivor. Always knowing she was adopted, she had enjoyed an almost idyllic childhood up until the revelation that would change her life. And then she'd feel shame and guilt, even anger. It was seeing another abortion survivor, Jana Jessen, on TV that gave Melissa strength to move forward and to begin an earnest search for her own biological parents. She was able to learn their names and discovered that her birth father lived just a short distance from her. She wrote him a letter, but received no response. Unable to locate her mother, she wrote to her maternal grandparents, who returned a cold response. Finally, after more than 10 emotional years of searching, Melissa meets her father's cousin and then her paternal grandfather. And she begins working with pro-life organizations to publicly share her story, giving her increased exposure, which ultimately leads her to other relatives like her mother's cousin, her own half-sister, and then finally to her birth mother. Through all these family members, Melissa is able to assemble the bits and pieces of her story and learn about her past. Her parents had been high school sweethearts who had dated for years and were in love. But when Melissa's grandmother discovered the pregnancy, she ordered an end to the relationship and she ordered an abortion. Melissa's mother stated that she did not want an abortion. Nevertheless, 3 days later, on August 24th, the abortion began. Saline abortions are done on babies after 16 weeks, and they are usually completed within 48 hours. But that was not the case with Melissa, who was born 5 full days after the abortion had begun on August 29th. Her mother was probably further along in her pregnancy than they had thought, perhaps as late as 31 weeks. Unbelievably, the nurse that assisted in the abortion was Melissa's very own grandmother, who after her birth ordered that she be left to die. However, a brave nurse defied her order and sought medical intervention for Melissa, saving her life. Melissa's mother was never told that her baby survived the abortion, and she only learned the truth in 2007, 30 years later. Woven into this complex tale are so many ironies. For example, Melissa unknowingly attended the same college campus her mother had attended when she got pregnant with Melissa. Another irony is that Melissa's mother tells her that she needs to keep speaking about their story. She says, "You are the very first person to ever fight for me." So the child who was never supposed to live or have a voice is now fighting to give voice to her own mother. There are so many more incredible details to this story that you have to read it for yourself because it is quite a journey. So please read it if you haven't done so already, and please share it. In the next few days, we're going to be announcing our Autumn Lit for Life book selection on our social media pages, so please stay tuned. And until next time, stand firmly and proudly for life.